One of the tweaks we use at Gray Institute to guarantee that we get a little more mobility and also facilitate more stability of the motion that we want at the joint we want for the purpose that we want is to use an elevated surface in order to lunge to. In this case, we're after more hip flexion, more powerful hip flexion on the back side of a golfer in the backswing transformational zone. What that means is, we know when I come back here, I want to subconsciously, when I come back, when I'm out there on the course, I automatically want that right hip to want to go into some flexion in order to load those posterior muscles in order to allow me to explode more effectively. A great tool and a great tweak to use is to simply, instead of going back into a lunge, is to say, well, instead of getting a lunge and kind of distributing the weight equally on both feet, we're going to do a lunge to a box, so more of the weight's on the front foot and I actually get a little more hip flexion. So I'm just going to simply put my left foot back on the box, and immediately with this elevation, you see it's going to tilt the pelvis differently, and I get a whole different reaction. And all of a sudden I can feel that, yeah, I can see where you're going to go after that hip more in that sagittal plane. And then what we simply do is we still take the club into our backswing transformational zone, and as soon as we do that, we feel even more flexion, and we realize that, wait a minute, this is elevating this leg, it's creating more of a hip flexion reaction here, but it's also forcing me to actually hold the weight there and to really be able to stabilize as well. So when I do that, I get here, now I can be hanging on to something, but as long as I'm hanging on to like a doorway or something in the golf cart or something at my house or in the facility that I work out in, while this foot's elevated, I can do that. We can also do that just by actually just holding here. So once I get in that position, now I go to work. And when we say we're going to go to work, we're going to say, I want to create more three-dimensional mobility in that hip flex position for that backswing transformational zone. So as soon as I get there, I get here and I go, okay, I feel that. I get here, I feel that even more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my pelvis forward and back, sagittal plane, side to side, frontal plane, and then I'm going to go in the transverse plane. That's one of those you kind of look at and say, that looks like a pretty simple exercise. It's a simple exercise, but it's simply powerful, because if you do it just a few times, you go, oh, boy, I can feel how that's going to create more effective and efficient mobility, but I can really feel where it's going to create some strengthening. Because elevating that leg and now puts all that weight on that front foot. And basically this is now the backside foot in the backswing transformational zone. So when I get here and I kind of stabilize and I go sagittal plane a few times, frontal plane and transverse plane a few times, immediately I go, wow, I'm really activating all of those muscles to facilitate a powerful backswing. On behalf of SwingU and Gray Institute, we want to thank you for the opportunity and privilege to empower your bodies in order to enhance your golf swing.